So this will be a rather quick video on how to get unstuck while, preparing for a job interview, or simply getting unstuck if you feel like you simply cannot get over things and you simply feel like you're not producing, you're not making advancements over what you need to get done. And I actually passed through such a stage right now, only recently, and for 1 week I felt like I wasn't able to properly produce the series of videos that I'm working on my YouTube channel, and more importantly a training program that I'm working on for around 6 months or so. And actually what happens for 1 week now, I wasn't actually able to make progress there. And of course we always blame burnout for these things, but I think there is a smarter way to deal with them. And this is something that really got me unstuck, at least in my case. And what worked here was to simply brainstorm why was I getting stuck, and why was it so bad that I didn't feel like I was making any meaningful process over these things. And I actually brainstorm quite a lot, and I tend to write things down and try to really dive deep into details as much as possible as to why some things happen. And what caught my attention here is that both of these initiatives that I had were getting stuck at precisely at the same stage, that of producing the scenarios, both in terms of YouTube videos, both in terms of the training programs. Like, don't get me wrong, not that I didn't have any scenarios, but I've been working on those scenarios for months in the case of the training video, and maybe a week or so in the case of the YouTube series. So what caught my attention here is that actually writing those scenarios and actually entering their high quality scenarios was what was the real reason why I couldn't get over this step. And what I did here, as soon as I identified that actually I got stuck at writing high quality scenarios, I related this experience with another time when I actually got stuck for another 1 week, or maybe more. Previously, when I was working on another series on my YouTube channel, that of answering the 35 most commonly asked questions in Amazon interviews. And I remember specifically at that time that this part of building high quality scenarios, or at least what I call high quality scenarios, took an immense amount of time. I think it took me 2 months or so. However, that series turned out to be one of the most successful series that I've ever built on YouTube, and probably the main reason why many of you are watching this video. So on one hand, I realized, the importance of having a high quality scenario, and I realized that as soon as I found out I was able to relate to that experience, I knew, that yes, it's going to take time, and that's very normal that it's going to take time, and this is not necessarily about burnout. I mean, of course, if I wouldn't be doing anything else all day long, probably I'd get them done much quicker, but the overall thing is that I knew how to set expectations from myself. So now I know, it's going to take me a considerable amount of time, maybe more than I would have anticipated, but now I know where I want to go, right? So my advice to you would be, always try to find out why you got stuck and try to relate your experience with the previous experience. And then, of course, try to find out how did you get unstuck from that previous experience. For example, I could also get stuck in a series of videos that wouldn't work, right? A series of videos that no one would watch. And then I would be able to relate to another series of videos that nobody would ever watch on my YouTube channel. There's plenty of them. And I know that the way to get over this is eventually to simply shut down the series. You see, not just brainstorm over and over again, try to produce ever more content to eventually find my success, right? So I could relate to other experiences where this same approach didn't work out, and I could eventually find a better approach here. But the main thing, the main takeaway from this whole video is you should be able to relate your stressful experience with the previous event that was more or less in the same aspect, and try to think, how did you get out of that? stress event, and try to replicate that in a way, or try to bring your own conclusions knowing what you know right now, and hopefully that will help you as it did in my case. Thank you for watching.